Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 4 here in our Sky Fabrication Sky Base. We are doing some stuff here with our cobble generator and our dirt generator to start things off today. And that's because I thought of something that will make this a little better. So I'm going to get in here where I can put a hopper feeding into this breaker. And we're going to put a chest on top of it. And then we're going to take some of this cobblestone. We're going to come over here and we're going to make some hammers. So what I was thinking is if I put hammers directly into the breaker. So let's take this pick out of there. So I can put hammers in there and I'll put this pick at the very end. That means now we're going to get gravel directly from that breaker. So as soon as cobblestone comes in, it'll get done. I'm going to see if I can turn this up to get it to the timing a little better. I think that that's a little bit better. It's going to break a little faster. But so we have gravel being broken from that cobblestone directly. So we're building up gravel. I made a pick that was specifically for this one. I don't have the ability to make any really great picks as of yet. But this one I can repair with stone. So basically when it uses up all the stone hammers, it'll throw the stone pickaxe in and it'll use that up all the way down to the bottom, meaning there'll definitely be cobblestone in here at all times, which I can use to make more of these repair kits and repair the pick and also make that cobblestone to make more hammers so we can keep this filled up with gravel. That is our plan. What I want to work on today is expanding out our system here. What I want to do is I want to have more sieves, I think it's sieves, more sieves and more meshes in them so that we can run them. Because when you have the meshes together, you can do more than one at a time. You can go, I think, 5x5, but I'm going to do 4x4. And the reason I'm going to do that is because then it's 4 operations through to finish out a stack, and I don't have an odd number of blocks left. So, to make, I need 12 more sieves. So we're going to need 24 more sticks. 16, 20, and 24. And I think I still have some extra slabs. I want to use them up for now. So let's grab them. So we need to have sticks like this. And then we can put blocks like this. Oh, I need a little bit more. And that's going to make the first ones that we need. So that would be, we already had 4 there. And we can put these in and it'll make 16. So basically, since I have a stack of gravel in my hand, I just run through this thing 4 times and it'll be done. Now the issue is I need to get more meshes. Now the meshes are not too much of a problem. I have a decent amount of string. If I find it. I also started organizing my chest down here in the storage a little bit. I also added in our lava thing over here. I thought it was fitting with the lava brick floor. So that's where we're at with that. So we're going to need more string, which means I'm going to need some silkworms. And I don't think I have any crooks. But what I can do, make some deep slate crooks. So let's take the silkworms. We'll just put all 4 of these on here. We'll let that go to turn the leaves into infested leaves. And while we're doing that, I actually also had another idea of something we could do. I'm going to need some cobblestone for this. So let's grab... I don't know. Oh, I have a little bit of cobblestone on me. Get out of my crafting table. I want to check out the drawers here. So to make a drawer, REI is taking its good old time. Every time I restart, it does this. It takes a few seconds. So let's see. Do I have everything? Yes, I have what I need to make this. I wanted to put one of these down and just test this out. So if I put cobblestone in there, I don't know what the limit on these drawers is. So let's test it out. Well, that surely doesn't want to break. Oh, you do it on the side. Ah, because I was left clicking on the front, it was trying to empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this. So I can get down in here. I'm going to put this drawer on the front. And let's break this as well. So I think 1024 might be the limit. That makes sense. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I forgot if you shift click on items in here, and it does that. So let's do... I'm going to remove the breaker for the moment, because that'll stop the dirt from running. So if we do upgrades here, I think that the first one that we need to do is bronze, and I don't have access to bronze yet. But 1024 for dirt is pretty much all I'm going to need. I wanted to see quantum upgrade, drawer access point, shadow drawer, drawer connector. We'll have to get to that point and see how that goes. But I was hoping that there was a drawer, like a void, like you would have in storage drawers, but it doesn't look like there is. And that's okay. Eventually we can get it so that we have this. These things are crazy though. That's super late game. But for now we'll just use that, and that will be our storage for the dirt. And grab another one of these bricks. And we're going to put this here. I don't like the way that looks now. Let me think about how I want to do this. Yeah, that would be the bottom. Let's put that back. Guess I can't put this as a bottom slab. How would it look if I did this? I think that'll look okay for now. I'll probably replace the slabs on the outside with more of these bricks if I have them. I don't have much. So I think I would have to do like this. I think that would be okay. And then I could... I think this is going to be the idea. Let's get rid of these. We'll put one in there. And then I can do 3 steps down like this. And then for this... I can do the same thing where I'm going to put one there. I'll put this here, and then we'll put some regular slabs above it. That's going to look fantastic. Very nice. Okay. And so we have gravel going here. This dirt we can put in here for now. And let's check our status on this. So we still have a hammer in there, and we're at the pick there. I think we might have, that means we have one more hammer in there. So we have a couple more hammers to go through. Each of the hammers gives us a couple stacks of gravel, which means we'll end up probably with about 10 stacks of gravel before we start using the pick. And that is fine. But that means this should have finished doing its thing. We're going to need to make a crook. These pebbles are really useful for making crooks because these crooks have a much better durability than the wood ones, which means that we can get a lot more. Oops, I did that with the wrong item. That's okay. I'm gonna put some. I have to get some more saplings to put there then, but for now, I had 4, so I need 12 more meshes. That's 7. And that should be 12. Now the next thing we need to do is we want to get this up to flint, which means that we're going to need some flint to do that. And so we're going to take our flint or our gravel here and we're going to turn it into flint. It's not quite enough, but it'll get us started. And we can start filling out this area with flint meshes. Our goal is to get that completely filled so that we can start processing gravel through a big thing of flint meshes fairly quickly. Okay, so we have some more flint that I found over there. So let's do that. And then we're going to do, I need 18 more, that's it. So, oh, that's more than I needed, but that's okay. I didn't see I had more in my inventory. But that is no problemo at all. So, and then I have gravel on me. You can see as long as I'm clicking at one of the middle blocks, it goes all the way. If I do it down here, you can see if I put it in, it only goes to 9 because it only goes 2 out in each way, which is why I could do 25. If I had another row on each side, I could do it right here in the middle and it would get all of those. But I want to do 16 because when you have a full stack and you're using all 16, then it just evenly puts them. You don't end up with one where you're not using all of the things. Okay, so we grabbed a bunch of this. Let's go sort this out to where it belongs. So this is for stone items. And then I have a spot up here for things like coal. And this is for all my metals. So you can see I've already gotten half a stack of raw iron pieces, which is pretty dang good. So let's put all of our wood stuff away. And then our strings can go in here. This is going to stay on us. This is more metals. This can go in here. Still learning where I put everything. There we go. And there we go. And now, is that all the gravel we had? Now I can demonstrate what I mean. So I have 64 here. And I aim right at the middle. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it has no leftover at the end. Whereas if I don't have a full stack, Then I have where it doesn't fill them all. And it isn't a big deal, but it can be a little bit annoying. And let's take these over here. So in the time that we end up processing all of our gravel, we end up with a decent amount of materials. And in that same amount of time, our machine over here has made more for us. So that is pretty cool. Let's do, so the iron here, the first thing I want to do with iron is work on making these meshes up to iron level. Oop, I missed an iron piece. That's a valuable thing to go missing. It takes 6 iron for each of these, and so to do 16, we need 96 pieces of iron, which means we need 384 pieces, raw iron pieces, which is 6 stacks of raw iron pieces. So that's our goal. As we get more of these, we can cook them up and turn them into iron to upgrade them, because the iron will give us more iron in the future. So let's go to gravel and take a look at it. When we use gravel with the sieve, if we are running it through the flint mesh, we get a 10% chance for iron. If we run it through an iron mesh, oh, that's a waterlogged one. Run it through an iron mesh, our iron chance goes up to 25%. And so that means we'll get a lot more iron as we switch over to iron meshes than using the flint meshes. The other thing is then we can start making, once we get a decent amount of iron, we can start making iron hammers, which will last a lot longer in that breaker and get us tons of gravel. And so for the next little while, my job is going to be just collecting gravel and turning it into iron and other materials until I have enough to get to the next phase. While I processed some of our gravel, I did a little more decorating around the place. I put in some drawers for all the crops and things that we have, and I kind of tried to fit everything else in. This is some of the items we get from when we run the gravel through. I'm gonna have to expand it for when I switch these out for iron, because then we'll get a lot more metals. But for now, it is doing well. Cooked up a little bit of iron. I'm going to do a couple of these. It's 6 for each one, so that's going to be enough for 2 of them. Oh, actually, you know what? We need to do quartz for these. The quartz is made by sifting soul sand, and we can do it through flint. To make soul sand, there is this is what I'm looking at. There is a recipe using the barrel leaking. So barrel leaking is when you have barrel with water or a fluid above it, and you put another block underneath and it turns into another one. So let's do it right here. Ancient spores. Where did I put the ancient spores? Over here. We'll do 5 of them to start. We need to go get a bucket. And grab those 2 and cook those up. That'll be a good thing to do. Although all the chests that were over there are in these now. I also added in a drawer system over here for our wood, so that we can grow all the different saplings very easily. So what we do is we put water in here, we turn it into witch water, and then we need some sand. Do I have any sand in here? I probably do not. Let's put this here, and I'm gonna grab one of these hammers out of here. I don't have one. And we're gonna just make, let's say, that should be enough. Okay, so what we do with this is we take the sand, and now we have witch water in there. We put the sand underneath and it turns into soul sand. For each barrel of witch water, you get 3 soul sand because of the amount of fluid that it takes. That's different for some recipes, but for the soul sand one, that's the right ratio. So we're gonna do this. And then what we can do is do another one. This will be our last batch. 1, 2, 3. That'll be it. Okay, so then we're going to take our soul sand that we got, and we're going to run it through this mesh over here. There we go. So that actually finished a quest for us. So if we go into the beginning, there we go. So we get 8 more soul sand from that. Process all of that too. And so that'll give us the quartz we need, as well as a few other things. We have some blackstone pebbles. We also got some nether wart. And then there's our quartz. Beavers can get put away. I don't know where they came from. I have a place for eggs. So now if we take the quartz, we put it in here, we have our very first iron meshes. So let's take a look at our quest line. Iron mesh is there. Let's see, how to obtain gold. The quest book will not tell you how to get each material. Instead, you have to find your own way by using REI. You should be able to find the answers. Some materials like gold can be obtained in multiple ways. So let's see, just to show you how that works. When you're looking for it, to get raw gold, we get raw gold pieces. There is no method for making them there. It says that there's a way to do it in create. I don't see it. So let's look at gold. We can do it with the deep mob learning system. Gold tiny dust. Anyway, we'll look into that more in the future. Diamond mesh is going to take a lot of diamonds. Oh, and there's a recipe sequence we have to do to make it. So that is definitely not something in our future for now. Alloy forge. We can make either an endstone brick forge or a prismarine forge. Endstone. How do we get endstone? Endstone bricks made from endstone. Endstone is made from... Is there a way to sift for it? Probably not. So we have to actually convert... Ooh. That's going to be a lot. Okay, so prismarine is going to be the way we're going with the tier 2 system. We need to get prismarine shards, which we get from sifting gravel through a waterlogged iron mesh. That's going to be the best way to get it, because we can do it with mana infusion, but we don't have that option yet. Ooh, how do we make those? Oh, you need to have a centrifuge. Yep, that's what we're going to need to do. So we need to work on making a waterlogged iron mesh as well to get into that next phase. So pretty much I've just been growing some trees here a little bit at a time, and then throwing them in, throwing everything into here and keeping up with it. But so we're going to continue to keep making iron until we can finish all of these. But now that we have the iron meshes, when we run it through, I'm just going to run one. You can see I get lots of other items as well. Let's run a few because I didn't see much there. But we have a better chance of getting iron through the iron meshes. And so while it doesn't go as fast because I only have 2 at the moment, I get more iron and I get lots of other items too. So let's take a look here. I got my first diamonds. Got 10 pieces of iron out of that little tiny bit of gravel. So it's definitely a better way to go as far as getting all of our materials. And so that's what we're gonna start expanding this so that we have more iron meshes until we have it completely full. And then I'm probably going to make a second setup and put it over here that's waterlogged for when I need to run recipes through that are waterlogged. All right, we've gotten half of this grid of sieves filled with iron meshes, which means we can run a lot more gravel more quickly through there. And we're going to continue to do that until I get enough iron to make all of the meshes that we need. But I'm going to call it for today because we're already about 30 minutes in and we have gotten quite a bit done. My goal for the day was to have our sieve processing going much faster, and we have done that. I still need to get set up with a sieve that is waterlogged so that we can process all of our recipes that require that, specifically the prismarine, so that we can get into doing alloys, because that is the first thing we need to do to get to our alloys. We will have some more automated ways to do that down the road, but for now that's the only way we can do it. So we want to get that set up. I'm probably going to set that up in between episodes and do a bunch more just collecting of all of our resources so that we can continue on and keep growing our sky base here. The one thing I want to check into, I'm not sure, but this access point, I'm not sure if that works the same as it would for storage drawers, where if I just have one of them connected, I can just drop all the items in. So I'm going to make one of those and find out. Let's do that before we end the episode out. So that would be, we need some cobblestone for that. So let's grab a little bit of that real quick. I still have some left in here. So what that would mean is I need to do this and this. So if we put this right here, question is, if I have items, the tuff should go in there. Will that tuff be able to be put in through here and go into there? And it does. That's excellent. So I'll probably put another one here. Even though I guess I could do a drawer connector across the top, because there are drawer connectors. Where are they? They are just made with wood. So we could do some of those. Let's try that out and test that as well. We need some more logs to make this happen. We'll take some regular ones. We're gonna have to do some tree farming too to rebuild my supplies, and that's okay. So what am I missing to make more of these? Now I need more planks. So what I'm thinking is, let's see if we can't do it this way. And just do some connectors across the top here. And put a drawer there. And a connector here. I do want to add some more drawers across the top there. So now that's gone. So let's say I have some wheat. And I put it in there and it goes in here. I think it did. That's excellent. And then we'll take one more drawer connector. Let's see if I can get there from here. I want to put one right there. So now the question is, if I have a diamond, which is the farthest away from the connector, that is awesome. So what that means is, let's put some of this stuff away just so we can have some space. I can grab my gravel, I can run it through the iron like this, and then once my inventory is filled up, which it practically is, I can just go over here and double click, and everything that has a spot will go in there. Oh, it looks like if there is an empty spot, it will find one. So that means we'll have to have every spot have something in it, or everything else will go in there as well. But that is okay. So I can just process a ton of this gravel. We get all these things, and instead of going and finding the places to put them manually, I just connect there, and then there they go. That's pretty slick, because that means I can process through this stuff really quickly. So I can just run, you know, a whole stack of gravel through, grab everything I can, drop it off in here, and if anything got missed, come back again and do it, and everything will find its place. That's pretty fancy. I guess it only forces it to find a spot if that's the thing you use, and then it'll find the first empty spot. If I were to do chicken, it would put it there too. That's pretty neat. So as long as I'm not putting in an item that doesn't go, it won't put it in, and everything that does have a spot, it will fill. Now these drawers can only hold 1,024, so if I try to put more of this item in, which is the andesite, or no, this is the stone pebbles, it won't put more in there. So that's a bit of a problem, but the harvest moon just set. I didn't get to show you, I harvested it, but I didn't get to show you. The really cool thing about the way this farm is set up is I can just use the vein miner and right click, and it will harvest all the crops. And then I can just come back here, throw them in there, they will all find their place. And they're gone. Looks like I got some emeralds from that last trip that didn't have a spot. So that's good. So now we can easily process through large amounts of gravel and get lots of resources, and we can also break that gravel down into things like sand and dust and process that to get other resources, so we can really start stockpiling stuff so we can get what we need to start doing automation. The first step of that is going to be getting into create, which means we need to get to here, which means that we need to get the alloy forge, because I'm pretty sure the reason we need the alloy forge, I have not looked at this yet, but just makes sense to me, is that andesite alloy is the first building block for create. And that, I think, yeah, we're going to have to put andesite and iron nuggets into an alloy forge to create andesite alloy. There are other ways to make it, but all of these other things require us to go through alloy forging, because we can't make the grout to make casting basins without an alloy forge, and we can't make the other items to build things and create without the andesite alloy, which we need an alloy forge. So everything is now resting on us getting an alloy forge. Unfortunately, alloy forge is an item. Let's see, is it a controller? Yeah. The controller itself requires 8 prismarine bricks and a blast furnace, which is going to require, I know we can do it with smooth stone, so that's fine, but it's going to require 8 of these. This is a multi-block structure, which is going to require even more prismarine bricks to build it up. So we have a lot of prismarine to get, and the only way for us to get prismarine is for us to get shards by sifting the gravel through water, which is going to be pretty intense to do a lot, because it's only a 5% chance to get shards from an iron mesh, which is not great. But we'll get there. We'll get it all done. Hope you enjoyed watching it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.